The Mirror of Erised is an ancient, ornate mirror. It shows the most desperate desire of a person's heart, a vision that has been known to drive men mad. The mirror was first discovered by Harry in the first book. Upon looking into it, Harry saw his late parents, Lily and James. However, the Mirror of Erised was used by Dumbledore and Ron, as well as Quirrell alongside Harry in the books. Beside that, in today's video we'll be discussing a theory of what would these characters see in the Mirror of Erised: Hermione, Draco, and Voldemort. The Mirror of Erised is a very old device. Nobody knows who created it or how it came to be at Hogwarts School. It was created before the end of the 19th century. The name Erised is desire, spelled backwards, as if reflected in a mirror. The writing engraved on the frame of the mirror was supposedly in a foreign and probably dead language, but if one looked closely, it said backwards: "I show not your face, but your heart's desire." Let's start first with Draco Malfoy. What would Draco see in the Mirror of Erised? Well, to answer this question, we need to choose which version of Draco is looking into the mirror. So Draco, during his childhood and also first years at Hogwarts, was jealous of Harry, who would garner attention and respect for something he'd done unknowingly as a child. Harry, who had become a Gryffindor seeker and the youngest at that during his first year, who beats him in Quidditch every time they play in a match. Harry, who rejected him for a Weasley. Draco would most likely see himself being acknowledged as the best. He would see his father looking at him with pride and Harry in the position of looking at him with envy. He would see himself as successful because the two things he wanted the most were to stand at the top and for his father to be proud of him. He would also see himself as the leader of his clique of Slytherins and quite popular in his own house. Draco didn't care much during that time. He didn't see what was coming for him. The only thing that mattered to him, or at least he desired the most, is to be the best in his father's eyes. Now let's analyze Draco from the 6th book till the end. This Draco is one who has lost faith in what he previously believed in. The Malfoy name is Mud, both in the Death Eater circle and the normal wizarding society. After his father was sent to Azkaban, he is tasked with the burden of killing Albus Dumbledore, the headmaster that he knew since he was a small boy. Something he becomes aware of is a punishment for his father's previous failures. And then when Dumbledore dies, his home becomes invaded and taken by Death Eaters, people who he started to interfere with in beliefs. His life is in disaster and he's cursed if Harry wins the war, and also cursed if he loses. Draco became the product of his environment. He was constantly surrounded by dark evil wizards, and as a young sensitive man, it was almost as he had no choice. He felt the pressure and knew that he would need to step up and make the name Malfoy proud of him, even if deep down that wasn't something he wanted to do. So Draco by then would look in the mirror and see his mother and father all safe and happy. He would have just seen his family all living a normal life as they had done before. There would have been no comeback of the Dark Lord, and his father would have lived his life as a Death Eater behind him. They would have all been happy and healthy, and their family's reputation would be in good standing. Most importantly, there would no longer be any pressure on him to follow dark pursuits. Although the hatred between him and Harry, I assume Draco would have also seen Harry winning the battle. He just needed everything to be done, and Lord Voldemort to be gone. The second character that we have is Hermione Granger. What would Hermione see in the Mirror of Erised? The answer would depend heavily on when she looked in the mirror. We have an answer from J.K. Rowling herself from a fan Q&A session. The fan asked, "I just wanted to know what Hermione would see if she looked into the Mirror of Erised." J.K. Rowling: At the moment, as you know, Harry, Ron and Hermione has just finished their penultimate year at Hogwarts, and Hermione and Ron have told Harry that they're going to go with him wherever he goes next. So at the moment I think that Hermione would see most likely the three of them alive and unscathed and Voldemort finished. Now I agree with Rowling, and I believe Hermione would see this exact same vision as well. Because first, Hermione, she's a very selfless character, so she would love to see her and her friends alive and safe, and for the biggest threat in the world, the being Voldemort, to be finished. Because once Voldemort was dead, then she could focus on herself, and only then Hermione would see, after the Battle of Hogwarts, her parents coming back from Australia to England, and her releasing the memory charm from them, welcoming them to her life once again. But that's not all. For other time periods, if Hermione had accompanied Harry to see the mirror and Philosopher's Stone, it was a different version of Hermione than the one we just discussed. So I suspect she would have seen herself as a Hogwarts teacher, like for example Professor McGonagall, someone widely known, respected, and even admired for her knowledge and mastery of magic. Towards the next 3 books, when Hermione was becoming more conscious of injustice in the wizarding world, I think she would begin to see herself having created a fairer magical society. Hermione was determined to prove herself, and she did. The third character we have is Lord Voldemort. Although it seems easy for others to guess what his desire, it's not always immortality and power, or even to defeat death. The matter depends on how long he would stare at it, because I believe it would change after a while. Voldemort is a complex villain, and far from being innocent. There was a lot of things that went the wrong way in his early life, which pushed him to the dark side. Let's go back to his past. Tom Marvolo Riddle was born to Merope Gunt and Tom Riddle Sr. The love between his parents was fake, because Merope was using a love potion. Tom grew up in the orphanage, not knowing his parents or anything about his family. He was just a lost little boy searching for answers. And because his mom wasn't there to give him love and care, he grew up without any concept or notion of love, because his parents didn't basically love each other. Tom Riddle was born with an inability to feel love, and this was probably the reason that he went on to do the horrible things that he did. If Tom were to have looked in the mirror in his youth, he would have seen himself and his parents living together happily. His father and mother would have met by classic means and fallen in love naturally rather than love potion. Tom Riddle would have been conceived normally, and he would have been born with a better understanding of love and emotion. He might have even seen his grandfather and uncle, but he would have pictured them in a much more respectable light. They would have been powerful wizards and truly proud of their heritage, the descendants of Salazar Slytherin himself. But later, when Tom Riddle became Lord Voldemort, if he looked into the mirror, he would see his mission to conquer death and thus be the most powerful wizard forever, because at that point he knew that his father was a muggle that disowned his mother and left her behind. He also felt that his mother Merope was a weak witch when she died, as he considered death as a weakness. Voldemort at that point didn't want to be with anyone or to bring back people from death. Consequently, he would see himself defeating and killing Dumbledore. And finally, when he's back in Goblet of Fire and Harry escapes him again, I'm sure he would be seeing nothing but him killing the boy who lived, dominating and controlling both the wizarding and muggle worlds. He would have truly conquered death and consider himself as the most powerful dark wizard to have ever lived. Alongside him, he would have his army of Death Eaters, all eager to do his orders. So that was all for today's video. Please comment down below which characters do you want me to do in the part 2 of the video that I'll be making. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.